And welcome to the Bronx Journal. I'm Charles Reynoso. Straight out of the Red Hook Project section of Brooklyn and featured on NBC New York, CNN, and the Daily News, author Torrey Maldonado has captured the minds of adolescents growing up in one of New York's toughest neighborhoods. LatinoStories.com says he's one of the top 10 new authors to read. His book, Secret Saturdays, is a coming-of-age tale that talks about the struggle of having his closest friends spin out of control because of family secrets. Torrey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
So Torrey, let's jump right into it. Authorship is such an amazing thing, to be able to express your ideas. How long have you been writing in particular?
Well, I liken it to playing handball or playing tennis or playing racquetball. If with one finger, you don't have much power, but with 5 fingers, if you put them together, you have a lot of power when you hit that handball, and I do play handball. I've been writing for the 13 years that I've been in education. I was writing for the 4 years that I was in college. I was writing for my high school career, junior high school career. I've been writing my whole life. Really though, we inherit a lot from our relatives. I get my nose from my mom, I get my ears from my father. I would have to say that my grandmother, she came from Puerto Rico here with a dream to write, and she mastered enough English so that she could write a paragraph in the Daily News. She passed that love onto my mother. And my mother, she's one of the best writers I know. She's never published anything. She wrote everything in a spiral notebook and put it inside her closet. She passed the love on to me. So my publishing a book is like my carrying the football across the end zone and then doing the Victor Cruz salsa dance.
So it looks like family is a big factor in this.
Huge.
Now, writing your entire life, what was the turning point that said, you know what? Now I want to be an author. I want to write a book that's going to go out there and talk to other people.
Well, Michael Jordan, he has athleticism that pulsates out of him. If you ask Michael Jordan to stop playing basketball, and people did, he went right back to it after he retired. He couldn't stop playing basketball. In the same way, if you look at the pictures of me as a toddler, you'd see I'd shrink and then my afro would grow out, and I'm there with the pencil playing around. And then if you flip forward, it's like animation. You start to see teenage Torrey writing. You see college Torrey next to the basketball court or wherever I was writing something down. And it fast forwards all the way till now. So writing was something that I always did. I couldn't stop doing, and I never saw myself not doing it.
So what inspired you to write Secret Saturdays?
2 things inspired me to write Secret Saturdays. One, in the 13 years that I've been in education, I've realized 2 things to be true. And the first thing is young people don't like to read. And if young people do like to read, the books that they like to read, they take the young people's imaginations and minds off to these distant places and return these young people without the skills to negotiate their friendships, their family conflicts. So I wanted to write a book that was a must read. And the American Library Association chose, out of hundreds and thousands of books, Secret Saturdays on the 87 quick pick list, saying that you wouldn't want to put this book down. So I wanted to write a book that was a must read, but at the same time, help young people to be better in their friendships, in their family, in their schools, and to be the real them.
Now, having written this book, has it adjusted like your perspective on things? Like pouring out your ideas, your thoughts, kind of organizing them into this tight little package. How has that affected you?
Well, writing this book has changed my perspective. In the most immediate sense, it's taught me that I could write a book and that I could publish a book. Some people say, I didn't know that I can do that thing until I did that thing. Even when my agent called me and said, welcome to Penguin, I was thinking, really, is this happening to me? I came from a background where my father didn't have a junior high school education. I come from a background where I'm the first person in my family to graduate college. Becoming a book author, it was such a fantastic idea because in my hood, the people that I saw around me, they were a lot of different things, positive and negative. How many book authors do we see standing on the corners of the Red Hook housing projects? So the book and seeing it on the shelves seeing it on NBC, seeing it here on the Bronx Journal, it tells me that I can write a book, and I have more books in me.
So what authors have inspired you? Because Secret Saturdays, I mean, just getting on all the lists that it's gotten on has obviously inspired young minds all over the place. I want to know what authors spoke to Torrey Maldonado.
Well, I'm the sum total of all of my parts. When I was a kid, I loved comic books. I couldn't put them down. And partly because in my neighborhood growing up, if you were a girl and you were academic, they'd call you the G word, geek. And if you were a boy and you were academic, they call you the other G word. And it's not genius. So boys got away with reading in our neighborhood by reading comics. Then when I got to high school, it was Alex Haley's autobiography of Malcolm X. When I got to college, it was books like Junot Diaz's Drown. It was Celestine Prophecy. It was Marianne Williamson's A Return to Love. Nelson Mandela, by the way, quoted Marianne Williamson in his inaugural address. And then when I graduated, it became other people. I went back to Malcolm X, read Manning Marable's recent book. So if I could just distill it into who do I like to write? I like to read. I like to read authors who are real and who make me really feel and who deliver warmth, magic, information, and emotion.
So tell me a little bit about the book.
Well, the book is about two best friends. Both are half black and half Puerto Rican. They're growing up in the Red Hook housing projects, which is the home and the birthplace of Carmelo Anthony until he was age 8. And these guys are close friends. They love hip hop. They describe themselves as fiends for hip hop. And one of them is keeping a family secret that spins him out of control. And it teases out all of these questions. The main character, Justin, asks, well, what is a friend? Can friends lie to me? Is a friend who lies to me a fake friend? And do I confront my friend even when it might jeopardize the stability of our relationship? So Secret Saturdays is a story about friendship. It's about bullying, the spectrum of bullying from verbal to violent bullying. It's about family, and it's about being the real you, the authentic you.
Now, how much of you, now of course every part of this book is you, but is there a character in particular that you kind of connect, you're like, you know, not to give it away, but that might be me?
Absolutely. In the book, there's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and I don't I? No?
No, absolutely.
No, absolutely. Thank you. No, the disclaimer, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is not in the book. If you could take me and shrink me down and then split me into two, I would be 50-50. I would be Justin, the narrator of the book, and I would also be Sean, the one who's keeping a secret.
So tell me, what was the most difficult part about writing this book for you?
The most difficult part about writing Secret Saturdays is writing my life, pouring my life into the book without being disowned by my family. My family is big on keeping our secrets secret and not airing dirty laundry. So I had to write the book in a way where I dealt with the authentic issues that I dealt with growing up, while I changed the names of people so that they could be protected and that I could be accepted back for Thanksgiving dinner.
Now, you mentioned a lot of issues in this book. There's some really, really deep thought in the book. One of these issues is the idea of bullying. Bullying is huge right now, whether it be cyber or in person. Were you ever, as a child, bullied? Were you ever the bully? Who was Torrey as a kid?
Absolutely. When I was a young boy growing up, I'll never forget, in 1988, I ran home because I heard my mom had a magazine. And on the cover of Life magazine's 1988 issue was, "The baddest man on the planet, nobody could beat me." Iron Mike Tyson. And he was one of the persons that I looked up to. And one of the reasons why I looked up to him, and another reason that I looked up to Hulk Hogan, with the 22-inch pythons, and Sylvester Stallone, and Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and all of these one-sided paradigms of masculinity is because my father wasn't at home. My mom raised me single-handedly, and also with the village that she had patchworked together. So I could turn on the TV and instantly have male influence. So when I was growing up, why did I gravitate towards these men? Why did I want to be Darth Vader, right? Because I was bullied. So I identified with powerful men, and I had promised myself when I was young, this is not going to happen to me. And in doing so, like the character in the book, Sean, who just starts to diss people to put them in their place and protect himself, he realizes, well, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. It's a slippery slope. Mm-hmm. Once you give in to the dark side of the force and you start becoming a bully, it goes somewhere. And I had went from becoming bullied to becoming the bully. Yeah, I'm happy to say that the network of people that my mom created around me had guided me through, and I created this book to help end bullying. On August 2nd, it became the official National Night Out Against Crime and Violence book, and the book is being used across the country as an anti-bullying tool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's just amazing. There's so much more that I want to ask, but unfortunately, we're actually out of time. But I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
If people want to pick up the book, what is the name of the book?
Oh, the book is called Secret Saturdays, mm-hmm. and it's published by Penguin. And we're actually celebrating right now because the paperback just came out. Yes. So Secret Saturdays.
Nice. Now, if people want to get in contact with you, how can they find you?
People can email me. My email is nycspeaks@gmail.com, and my website is torreymaldonado.com.
Awesome.